I have fought for children and survivors of sexual assault. I fought against transnational criminal organizations. I took on the biggest banks and helped take down one of the biggest for-profit colleges. I know a predator when I see one.
That was Democratic vice presidential nominee Senator Kamala Harris, the former prosecutor, using part of her big moment last night to prosecute her case against Donald Trump, comparing his character to the criminal she took down as San Francisco District Attorney and California's Attorney General. We're pleased to bring into our conversation now Democratic Mayor for the District of Columbia, Muriel Bowser. What did you make of last night's address?
I thought it was incredible, Nicole. I thought that Kamala did exactly what I hoped that she would do, introduce herself to America, talk about her values, her American story, how she was going to help Joe Biden win and restore competency to the White House.
You know, one of the things that I picked up in my reporting is that Team Trump is acutely aware of her superior skill set as a debater and concerned about this debate against Mike Pence. Obviously, Joe Biden picked her as a partner to put this country back together if they win in November. But just on the piece that worries the Trump team, what do you expect for that night?
Well, I think that Kamala is a masterful debater. She's tough. She's a great questioner, and she's experienced. And she's experienced on a number of levels. She ran a big agency as Attorney General in California. She's a senator. She's been a district attorney. So she knows what she's doing. She also has a unique way of connecting to people. I think we saw that. So I think we've seen both sides of Kamala, the tough prosecutor, but also the warm, engaging American who wants better for our nation. And she's going to be able to connect with American people, I think, in an honest way and in a sincere way. And that would be a contrast with our current leadership.
And it's also, if you look at the two of them as a ticket, it is certainly something they have in common. And the convention did a very good job at producing some of those moments that span her career of sort of being down at eye level with young children. That certainly looks like any reel from Joe Biden's career. I want to ask you, though, as another woman in political life, and I certainly deal with this too, what have we gotten better at? She was very gracious about standing on the shoulders of women who came before her, but we still mess this up. People in my business, people in politics. What advice do you have for us covering it, for women as we talk about other women over the next 70 days and beyond?
Well, one thing that I think we've done better than in 2016 when Hillary was running is we knew that we had to get ready to protect her. I was so happy to hear other women saying, and men, including Vice President Biden, saying, we know what's coming her way, and we're not going to let her be drugged down by petty snipes, that we're going to protect and defend her from the misogynistic remarks and racist remarks and sexist remarks that we know are coming. We're not going to let that happen to her. We as Black women are going to protect her, women are going to protect her, and men know that that's wrong too, that she's going to win with Joe Biden because of her experience and because of her ideas.
You've been at the center of a lot of the most emotional stories that we've covered in the last few weeks. John Lewis was at Black Lives Matter Plaza, one of his last public appearances. You introduced, I think it was Monday night, the family of George Floyd. Are you satisfied with the prominence that these issues have? Do you want to hear more? Are you, tell me how you feel.
I am satisfied that we're having a national conversation. I'm satisfied that there have been some, really thoughtful pieces of legislation and initiatives introduced. I'm also satisfied that every American, of Americans of every stripe and background, are also talking about these issues. But I also know that movements last more than 4 months, that we have to be persistent consistent about change, and know that Kamala Harris's vice presidency with Joe Biden will represent one real change of, a group of people, Black women who have been part of all of these toils and struggles in our nation, are being seen and recognized at the very highest levels. And so that's one fascinating and encouraging thing about Joe Biden's run for president, which is important. But Joe Biden also knows how to turn words and all of our expressions of protest into action because he knows government. He's been there on both sides at the Congress and on the executive side. And with Kamala, they will hire a great team and turn initiatives into action.
Mayor Muriel Bowser, we didn't have enough time to go deep on any one of these things, so I hope we can look at this as a starting point and pick these topics up
in the
coming days. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.